Coach Harsin with a rather passionate 4-minute and 24-second spiel on what really comes down to, at the end of the day, defending his program and defending his players.
Yeah.
Defending an 8-1 top 20 program, might I add.
I think we could talk the rest of the show
really
on this topic.
Could.
We really probably could, but don't worry, we won't. We want to hear your opinions on this matter. Just head on over to ktvb.com/vote. You can make your opinion known. We'll see the results below on the Bronco Roundup Game Day Show. A lot of things come to mind real quickly. You hit it on the nail. You got to have perspective. This team is 8-1, ranked in the top 20 in the land, still can achieve everything that they want, including the Mountain West Championship and perhaps, who knows, the Cotton Bowl down the road. But again, week in and week out, take care of business. But perspective is so key, and I think we have it because we come from outside areas other than Boise. Our alma maters would do anything to have a season like Boise State is currently on and has had the last 2 decades or more.
We, meaning my Washington State Cougars, won 11 games last year. That was a program record. Almost the expectation for this Boise State team to get to 11 wins each and every year. And if they don't, then it was just kind of a so-so year. Another thing, even if you look across the college football landscape, I'm going to use a team in the Mountain West, for example. Fresno State the last couple of years has been great. Look at them this year, struggling. Every program has their peaks and valleys, and it's interesting that Boise State can go through their peaks and valleys and still win 10 games every year. It's remarkable to have the type of success that they have year in and year out, and they really are judged at a different standard because of it.
My alma mater has 11 bowl games total in their program history. I think that tells you all you need to know. One big thing that I was, if I'm a player of Coach Harsin, I was really pleased with my head coach going to bat for me. There's one thing that crosses the line for me when fans, they have every right to voice their opinions. First Amendment, Second Amendment, all for it. Here's the thing where it crosses the line for me. When you tweet a player's name or a player's number and you say terrible things about them, like I've seen on social media the last several weeks going on about Boise State's players, that's where it crosses the line for me. Okay, I understand fans want perfection week in and week out. I want to tell you something. There is a group of players and coaches that want that perfection just a little bit more than you, the fan. Those are the guys that bleed for, sweat for, pour everything, their heart and soul into this program. They want it just a little bit more than you as fans. And I know you as fans want it a lot. So understand that before you send that tweet saying, so-and-so is terrible. He needs to lead the starting offensive lineman.
And there's a little bit of a double standard there, too, because I feel like at times people have the reaction, they're student athletes. The NCAA is terrible. They should be compensated and all this stuff. Well, and then we kind of lose that perspective when we talk about how they play at times. And I don't know. There is a spot to be critical. Don't get me wrong, but it's just it's tough because an 8-1 team had to have their head coach go on a rant like that this week. And again, just coming from the programs that we grew up in, it's just different. And we also want to share too that we know it's not everybody, and sometimes the minority has the loudest voice. Right?
Absolutely.
And I think that's the case in this situation. But
think before you tweet, and remember they are 18, 19, 20-year-old student athletes. They're kids, for crying out loud, trying their very best. Remember that.
Keep the passion, though, because that's what it's all about. You're allowed to be passionate, and that's completely fine. We did want to welcome in somebody that might have an opinion on this, and every now and then he goes to bat for some of the Boise State football players, as you can see them warming up on the field behind us, continuing to get geared up for Wyoming's game, for the game against New Mexico. Go ahead and take the shot from above. You can see the guys on the field. And, I think that tonight should be a good ball game, but the more and more we talk about this whole Twitiots subject, we did want to welcome in a former player who knows a thing or two about this. And we talk to him almost every week, at least during the home game. Shane Williams-Rhodes joins us now. And Shane, we just wanted to get your initial take about everything that happened this week. And have you ever heard of the word Twitiot before?
That was a first for me. I never heard Twitiot. I'm probably referred to as one of those Twitiots, though. I'm pretty active on Twitter. But yeah, I've never heard that one before.
As a guy that's played here, I think that social media has obviously become more present and more prevalent since you stopped playing at Boise State. But I'm almost certain that you guys still heard noise at time, and you played for Coach Harsin. So whenever stuff like this would come up, what would his reaction be to you?
Usually we didn't really hear much about this when I was playing. I think it was because I guess it was more of when Pete was here, we weren't able to have Twitter.
Right.
So the transition from going into Harsin having it, we didn't have many problems. I guess the problems probably started arising the longer people were on Twitter. And so I never really had to deal with it. But players definitely look at those things.
Shane, I want to get your thoughts on this subject and what Coach Harsin said this week. I took it as he was protecting his players from fan complaints and criticism. You as a former player that played for him, what's that mean to you when he sticks up for you?
I mean, it's good. It's something you like to hear from me, Coach. You know, that not a lot of coaches out there would do that. So it's good, and he's kind of active on there too. So
he is.
It's kind of good that you have a coach who's young and he's in the know.
So Shane, you said though that maybe it wasn't always addressing team meetings or anything like that. But what happens when you were sitting at home on your couch and you would stumble upon somebody saying, Shane dropped that third down catch? We don't know if he ever did, by the way. It's just an example. Well, but what would your guys' reaction be amongst each other when stuff like that would come up?
We've had some times where we jumped on Twitter and you can type in your name with a hashtag.
Yeah.
You'll see the best and the worst of those Twitiots that we're referring to.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think some guys take it differently. I know me personally, if I ever looked at it, I feel like I looked at it more when I was done playing just to see, and I would see stuff from 3-4 years ago. I'm like, oh, that was said. I wish I would have saw that when I was playing. But some guys, mentally aren't able to handle it.
I would assume that's the case.
It can be hard on some guys.
Piggybacking off that, how tough is that? I mean, I've seen it the past couple of weeks, several Boise State offensive linemen in that starting five.
Yeah.
Everything with their names or their number being called out. And it's like, well, these players are on Twitter. It's not like they can't see this. I mean, it's out there. That's going to be tough as a player, I would imagine.
Yeah, and I think somebody who actually did it was Brett Rippon. He absolutely just was off Twitter.
Stayed away from it, exactly.
During the season, no Twitter, and I think that's probably the best thing that you can do, just block out the noise. That's the best way to do it, because if you have the app and things were rough in the last game, it's easy to
That's easier said than done, though, right?
That's why I say just not being on there at all. Just got to get off.
I know,
you can't have the app on there.
You just said no app, nothing. Like, you got to take it out of your world.
Out of it.
Cold
you got to lock
turkey.
in.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know you're not mentally stable for it, you got to.
It's probably important to identify that, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you think that you were kind of more on the side that could handle it, I guess?
For the people who know me pretty close, it doesn't affect me. I know you guys see me on there pretty actively. I enjoy those kind of things.
Yeah.
Shane, I'm curious, outside, taking a step back from this, curious your thoughts, Boise State fan perspective. This is an 8-1 football team ranked in the top 20 in the country. I get it. They want to win every game by 50, but you squeak out a 3-point win over Wyoming, and fans are saying all sorts of nasty stuff. How important is perspective for this program?
Being here, they're spoiled.
Yeah.
Fans are spoiled. I mean, we've had some of the best. And so being 8-1, I feel like they should focus more on us playing bad and winning than us playing, we're playing bad and we're still winning games.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
We've played with backups 2 weeks and we've figured our way out to win. So
right.
I think that's what they need to focus more on rather than some of those things that are said on Twitter.
Right.